doing a video because I have from sources found out that the VA also uses Quest Diagnostics for some tests, and that at least for inflammatory markers for certain diseases like leukemia, lupus, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, another autoimmune, that ARUP labs, ARUP labs, they use some of the same ranges that Quest does. So for those people out there, especially veterans, that that are being tested, and you're being told your levels aren't high. You know, you're out of the range. You're in the normal range. Now everybody has some markers for certain tests, like ANA. Some of the some of those inflammatory marker tests, the majority of people in the population will score, within a certain level of, it would be, I guess, it would be positive, but yet they don't have any symptoms. They're asymptomatic. That could be because they don't have it, or they have it, but they are asymptomatic. Or again, the disease may be in going into an inactive state where they have, very few issues or none. Remission, that's what you call it in oncology. Or they may just be, just presenting with symptoms, meaning the disease is just activating. But still, a couple of MDs and a couple of PhDs have argued that these labs that make the testing ranges higher, because they want to screen out false positives. In the rheumatoid arthritis community, they're losing anywhere from 11% or more people that have it. But again, the disease is going into an inactivity phase, or they are just beginning to present with symptoms. So these couple of MDs and PhDs argue that sometimes these proprietary labs like ARUP labs or Quest Diagnostics, they use some of their own stuff, that they arbitrarily set their own ranges too high, and what that does is make it look like people that do present with they do have the disease, they do present with symptoms, it's either in their head or it's something else. And especially amongst veterans who've been forward deployed to the Middle East, this disenfranchises, humiliates them, and delays their treatment. And what we're seeing if you read through the literature about people coming back who get sick, you're finding that when you do get sick, a lot of people, it's aggressive. The more you're exposed to, and the more you have certain, genetic markers, like maybe you have rheumatoid arthritis in your family, or other things that, are inherited conditions, they become more active quickly and more aggressively. So again, this is just, I just want people to know out there, especially veterans, that the VA is using, at least in Saginaw County in Michigan, is using ARUP Labs and Quest Diagnostics for some of their inflammatory markers testing when people present with, various arthritis. I think it would be arthritises, with arthritis, or with lupus, or with leukemia, or lymphoma.
Can I help you? Sorry,
I think that's about it. As far as, I mean, I could be wrong, but for particular pathways, I think those are grouped together. Which also, interestingly enough, I've found that through research that diabetes uses similar pathways. So in some studies, it's been as much as 25% of the cohort, the group, the participants in studies for rheumatoid arthritis, up to 25% in some studies, people have rheumatoid arthritis, active and inactive, and they also develop diabetes. Type 2, that's interesting. Type 2 is most common. I mean, practically, it's the only one that has a significant, a statistical significance, because it shares the same inflammatory pathways as those diseases I just mentioned, so, which is very interesting, especially if you're a veteran, because you may be being dismissed. They may think, oh yeah, this and this is happening because you're old and you have diabetes. Well, yeah, everybody gets old, and some things come with being older, but being old is not a pathology. If you're older, you have joint problems, or what's going on is the linings of your joints being diminished through wear and tear, or through disease or arthritis. Again, getting old is not a pathology. Arthritis is, joint lining swelling is, and these are type of inflammatory issues that come with lupus, both lupuses and all arthritises. Leukemia, I mean, it's very similar pathways, but leukemia is much more volatile. But that's just FYI for everybody out there. You know, people in the inflammatory disease and autoimmune conditions community, you may be getting derailed from getting better, and getting aggressive treatment so that you live the best life possible. Nobody should have to live in misery and have people say that's a part of the aging process, because it's not true. You know, what I've found in my experience here with the VA in Saginaw County, I've met some providers that are very conservative. They don't follow what's going on, and they don't read their studies. You know, they don't look for the best possible outcomes. And honestly, I don't like that kind of medicine. It makes me sick to my stomach, because the amount of advances we have today in medical treatments and medications and specifically medications that, even if they can't address a root issue, they can diminish or even stop symptoms. So I hope this helps everybody out there. And just because you may have issues, you're getting sick, you're getting older, you've been through heck in combat or in a fob that you were exposed to all kinds of garbage, or a combat fob, or you were in a fob that didn't have combat, but you were in Iraq, Kuwait, or Saudi, or near Iran, and you're exposed to all kinds of garbage from 600 oil well fires for almost 3 months. Hope this helps people. Keep fighting to get better, and fight for your family.